Hello, I am Warrant Officer Manifar, and today I will be showing you how to polish your cadet boots. Now, your boots are just as important as any other uniform part you have. However, because if they're not shiny, everyone's going to notice. If they're shiny, everyone's going to notice, and they're easier to mess up, your boots might require just a little bit of special care. So I'll be showing you how to do that today. Now, you'll notice here, maybe not because of the camera on this boot, it's got some scratches on it, it's got some scuffs on it, and it's not the most shiny. And it's got a little bit of dust on it. You'll want to take care of that first. So what you're going to do is grab your first bit of kit that you'll need, which is a kiwi polishing cloth. You can also use a t-shirt or a rag so long as it's nice and smooth. Now you're going to wipe and rub off any dirt that's on it. This is also good because it takes care of any scuffs that are on your boot. Then you're going to want to open your kiwi rag. There's two sides to the kiwi rag. There's the side with the emblem on it, and then there's the bare side. This side's a bit more coarse, so it's a bit better for shining your boots and buffing your boots. So you're going to want to find another bare patch right over there. Wrap it around your finger like so. Make sure it's nice and tight, because if it's loose, it's not really going to have much of an effect on your boot. In fact, it might scratch your boot just a little bit. Next thing you're going to want is a can of Kiwi black polish. Kiwi is possibly the safest and best brand you can use as a cadet, because other boots, other polishes, other brands might not be the same, and it can actually ruin your boots. So safest bet is Kiwi. Another very key important factor to polishing your boots is moisture. I like to use a spray bottle. What you can do is also use the lid of the tin of polish, put some water in there. However, I don't like to do that because it can make the lid rusty and affect the overall quality of the polish. So what you're gonna do is spray your cloth and also your boot. Next, you're gonna want a little dab of polish, like so. Probably not that much. Then, what you're gonna wanna do is spray one more time and just start rubbing in small circles. Don't use too much pressure or too little pressure. Too little and you won't get the same effect. Too hard and you risk scratching the leather. If you feel any scratching or any friction, that probably means you'll need just a little bit more moisture. Either spray your cloth again or dab it in just a little bit more water. You're going to want to surround your entire boot with polish. When you see it's getting sort of a cloudy effect, that's good. That means the polish is spreading throughout the boot. Some other factors you're going to want to consider when polishing your boots are your surroundings, such as light, so you can see what scratches remain on your boots, what scuffs remain on your boots, and also where you are polishing. Probably not your mother's kitchen table, and probably not your white floor, so maybe at your desk or on the floors if you're on or surrounded by some newspapers. Because polish, fun fact, is actually quite a headache to get off the floor or off, say, your couch fabrics. When you start to see more of a shine, but it's not quite there yet, you're gonna do one of two things. Either get just the smallest dab more of polish or spray your boots once more. I already have plenty of moisture on my boots, so I'm not gonna do that. You're gonna wanna rub just a little bit faster, again, not too hard, just so you're buffing it real nicely, and you'll get that nice shine. You'll also want to make sure, depending on how much water you're using, it doesn't leave any water spots behind, because once those water spots dry, it's gonna leave a nasty sort of residue on your boots. That'll affect how shiny your boots are, and quite frankly, they look disgusting. So, now, those look nice and shiny. I only showed you how to do the toe cap. However, you are going to want to do the rest of your boot, including the heel. Also, you'll notice these parts of the boot, the soles, inside the soles right here, say during parade, if you're outside or on your way home or on your way to cadets, you might run through a mud puddle, or you might walk through a pile of dust, or a truck might swipe by and get dust all over your boots. It can get everywhere on your boots, so you'll want to make sure you get a toothbrush or your cloth if you're real careful, and just rub along the sides until it is black. My soles are fine, so I'm not going to be doing that for you today. A couple things you'll also want to consider are the parts of your boots right around here where it folds and cracks. If you put too much, you want to be careful when putting polish there, because if you put too much on it, what can happen is the leather will crack and the polish will crack, and the polish will shed everywhere, sort of like black snow. That is boot cancer, and it is an absolute nightmare to get rid of. If you do find yourself with that problem of boot cancer, what you will do is you will boil some water in a kettle, hold it either above your backyard or in your sink, pour it above your boot, use a horsehair brush. I like to use an old gift card or an old debit card that you're not using, and scrape the polish off, and then begin from square one. These boots that I have here are the old style boots, or Gen 1s. These ones are real leather, so in theory they're a little easier to shine, which yes, they are. Another type of boots you will often encounter are the newer style boots, or Gen 2s, or moon boots as they're called, because they're really thick and bulky. Now, there's a bit of a myth out there that the moon boots cannot be shined. That is a total myth. They require a little bit more attention because they're harder to shine, but they're not impossible to shine. I've seen them shiny, I've seen them glass, I have gotten them myself glass shiny, and I know it's possible. I know you guys can achieve it, so keep at it. When you first get your boots, sometimes what you will see is you will still see the pores of the leather. Now, what you are going to want to do for that is probably you'll want to wrap around 2 fingers. You'll want to get a hefty coat of polish, like that much, probably more, and you're going to, I'm not going to here, but you'll want to rub it all over your boot, and then continue with the same water, same amount of pressure all over it until you see a decent shine on it. That doesn't mean you're done. You're going to need to do it over and over and over again, probably 3 to 5 times in one session, and probably over the course of a week of doing that every single day. This is the shine you can achieve. Also, one thing to consider is things such as neutral. Neutral, once you get a good decent shine, it's really good for adding an extra gloss, and also it's pretty good for waterproofing as well. Some other things you will see out there that make it easier to shine your boots are things like parade gloss. Parade gloss can be okay for maybe a absolute last minute resort, and the smallest amount, because what I've seen, it basically disintegrates the layers of polish on your boots and can give your boots cancer. Some other things that I see are heat shining with lighters or with hair dryers or heat blowers. Those are things they do work. They do put a good shine on your boots. However, if you do them too much or too often, or use it as an every single time sort of thing to polish your boots, it can actually ruin your boots as well. If you do want to do those things on your boots, go ahead. However, have someone who knows how to do those methods properly show you how to do them, and wait until you get a decent coat of polish on your boots and can shine them properly without any of those before you do methods like that. Now, I just showed you how to polish your boots. I expect to see them shiny when we return from COVID-19. I hope I taught you something rather well today. Good luck on your boots. I am Warrant Officer Ramanufar, signing off.